Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and to this new video, which is a very special one because in today's video I will be showing you guys and rating every single bullet journal theme that I have ever done. I have been bullet journaling since January 2019 and I am currently on my bullet journal number 6 and my theme number 32, so this video might be a little long. I'll be going through all of them and showing you the themes and then rating everything with this little template that I designed in Procreate, and at the end I will see which are my ultimate favorite themes. Let's get started with my very first bullet journal. This was a softcover Scribbles That Matter journal in navy blue. They actually don't make these soft covers anymore, so that was one of the last I got actually. And my very first theme in this journal was this winter in New York theme, inspired by a trip I took to New York City that month. It didn't snow there, unfortunately, but as for the theme, I really liked the idea I had, but I just couldn't execute it in my journal properly. And of course I wasn't as good as lettering because I was just starting out and there was just too much going on with all the snowflakes and dots and stars, and so I am putting this in my good idea, bad execution category, and we are moving on to February. This is for me the worst theme that I have ever done. Looking back at it, I'll just call it Valentine's Day Overkill. I don't know what I was thinking. I wanted to do a flowers theme and also a hearts theme, and generally very pink and Valentine's Day-y, and it was just way too much and it got out of hand and it just looks very chaotic now and I don't like it at all. So I am putting this in my worst category, which is called Just No. Moving on to March, this is the first time I recreated a theme by AmandaRachLee, the very popular cacti theme, and while I liked this was definitely better than January and February. Looking back on all my themes, I always prefer the ones that I came up with myself or that I gave a little bit of my own spin, so this one is going to go in the category kind of forgot about it, because a recreated theme is just not super close to my heart. Next up, however, is a theme that is very close to my heart. It's my April 2019 Corgi theme. If you didn't know, Corgis are my favorite thing in the whole world. I love them so much and I hope in the future I will have one of my own. But I knew that when I started bullet journaling I had to do a Corgi theme at one point, and it was sooner rather than later. And even though I wasn't super good at drawing dogs, I'm still not super good at drawing animals or anything that's alive, really. But I took some inspiration from some other artists who drew corgis to make this theme happen. So I like it very much, but it's still not one of my ultimate favorites, so it's gonna go in the category happy with it. Next up is May, and this is again an exact recreation of a theme by AmandaRachLee, so this is going to go in the same forgot about it category. For June 2019 I did this Flamingo theme, and while I like the theme, I'm not super happy with the way I drew the flamingos, so it's definitely not one of my favorite themes and it's going into forgot about it. Now this Under the Sea theme that I did for July was one I liked very, very much. The doodles all turned out really good, my lettering was getting better, and also this was the first time I used washi tape in my bullet journal. So we are putting this into happy with it. That is the last theme in my first bullet journal. The next one was from Dingbats, this dark green one, and this is a little bit wider than a standard A5 journal and has a little more yellow pages. And the first theme I did in this new bullet journal was this palm tree theme for August. And I actually really like the way the cover page turned out here, but the rest of the setup not so much. So I'm putting this in forgot about it as well. And I promise I'm not going to put everything in forgot about it. There are some good themes coming. One of those good ones is this theme right here, a Brooklyn Nine-Nine theme. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is one of my favorite TV shows ever, and I seized the opportunity to do September 19. In my bullet journal, I used a lot of pictures from the show and some collaging with this police tape and washi tape. I can't show the picture on the left for copyright reasons, but it's just Jake and Holt. And I am very, very happy with this theme, so I'm putting it in happy with it. And next up is October, quintessential Halloween vibes. Halloween is my favorite holiday, so getting the right theme for October is always very important for me. Unfortunately, that October I was moving to a new flat, which meant I didn't have a lot of time, and this theme, while the theme is a really good one, did not get enough attention from me, which meant the execution wasn't perfect. Next up is another theme I did during my big move, which also meant that this isn't a very special theme. It's just this rain theme with umbrellas and raindrops. And while it's not bad, it's not particularly memorable either, so I'm putting it in the forgot about it category. And for my last theme of 2019, I did a very Christmassy theme, also inspired by AmandaRachLee. And while this is a really good theme and I'm happy with the cover page, the rest of the pages didn't turn out that well. And also, again, it's a recreation, so I'm putting it in good theme, bad execution. Moving on to my first journal of 2020, it's another Scribbles That Matter notebook, and please don't ask what happened to the cover. I went ham on it with embossing and drawing on it in glitter pen, and then finally went over it with a coat of acrylic paint, which is why it looks like this. But I do very much like my first theme in this notebook, which is this tea theme for January. This is lightly inspired by AmandaRachLee's coffee theme from November 2019, but this is one of those examples where I took only inspiration from her and created my own theme out of it and didn't just recreate it exactly. And that's why this is one of the themes I really like, and I'm putting it into happy with it. For February, I did another AmandaRachLee recreation, and this time I also wanted to make it my own but failed miserably. And I know this might look like a fine spread to you, but to me it's just not very nice and I'm not happy with it. So I am putting it in my just no category. For March, I did another theme that was inspired by my real life, because I was starting an internship at a radio station that month, which was of course cut short by the start of COVID. I was sent home after 2 weeks and did the rest of my internship in home office. But nonetheless, I still really enjoy this theme. I like the color scheme, which is really unusual for me, and it's overall just really nice, so I'm putting it into happy with it. Next up is one of my favorite themes I've ever done, and the first one to go into the greatest of all time category. It's the Jurassic Park or Jurassic April theme. I can't tell you how proud I was of coming up with this theme, and every single spread from the cover page to the last weekly turned out perfect, and I am so happy with it. And actually someone on Instagram tagged me in a recreation they did of this theme, the first time that's ever happened with a theme of mine, so that's a bonus point as well. And overall I'm just super stoked that I have this theme in my journal. May 2020 was the first month I tried a single page calendar, which I blurred out here for privacy, but the theme itself was a brunch theme. I personally love brunch and breakfast foods. I think it's the best and most important meal of the day, and I'm overall very happy with how this theme turned out. So happy with it, it is. When June started, I was in full-on lockdown mode. I was trying a bunch of new hobbies. I baked bread, I learned how to embroider, and I started learning the ukulele, which is what inspired this theme. I really love this theme. I loved it back then and I love it now looking back. It's also the first time I used craft paper in my journal, and I love it, especially with the color scheme of the ukuleles around it. So this is definitely a top tier theme. After June, I moved on to my second 2020 journal, which was this Scribble and Dot Koala journal. And the first theme I did in this was my July theme, surfing, again with a half-page calendar because I just didn't have anything to do. And while I really like the cover page in this calendar and also, the wood effect I did on the surfboards, the rest of the spreads aren't my favorite, so I'm putting it in the forgot about it category. And for August, I did another one of my favorite themes ever. You can see how excited I am in the video. It's Sky Bison from Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you can believe it, I watched Avatar for the first time last year, at 20 years old. I don't know why I didn't watch it when I was a child, but I remember seeing the advertisements on Nickelodeon. And then last year I finally watched it for real with my boyfriend, and I was obsessed with it from the beginning. Like obsessed to the point I couldn't sleep because I wanted to know what would happen in the next episode so badly. And so I decided this was enough excitement to warrant its own theme in my bullet journal. And because Sky Bison and Appa are just so cute, this is what I came up with. So definitely a top tier theme, and actually that was the first month I started making reels on Instagram. Next up is September, and as I mentioned earlier, I love Halloween and everything that has to do with autumn. So I started early in my bullet journal and did this very autumn-y kite theme in various shades of brown and yellow and orange, and I know it might seem a little plain, but I'm very, very happy with it, so I'm putting it in the happy with it category. Next up, oh my god, we are getting into the good stuff. October. I think this is my absolute top one favorite theme I've done to this day, and also the most time-consuming one. It's a witch's house theme, heavily inspired by my favorite Halloween movie, Hocus Pocus. And I just added a bunch of witchy doodles, cats, books, potions, witches' hats, some craft paper, washi tape, anything. And I am obsessed with it. I love this theme so much. And I actually hit 1K followers during this month. So a lot of my Instagram followers also loved this very much. And I'm still very, very happy with it. I'm not sure how I'm going to top this October, but I'll sure try. And next up is another theme I really love. It's my very first Harry Potter theme I've done, a Quidditch theme. And actually the way to this theme was very rocky. I had a major art block that month, and I initially wanted to do an owl post theme, like with letters and some owls. And as I mentioned before, I'm not the best at drawing animals, so that backfired pretty quickly and I was super unhappy. But then I came up with this Quidditch theme and I was so insanely happy with it that I recreated this Gryffindor theme with all the other 3 houses and added a fitting quote for each of the houses that came from one of the characters in those houses or was said about them. And I was so happy with it. I filmed multiple reels about it and people seem to love it as well. Harry Potter is always a hit, of course. And just to think that this came from that major art block I talked about, it's just really cool that I pulled myself out of that and managed to create such a nice theme that I'm happy with. Top tier category. And then after that, it was time for my second favorite holiday, Christmas, and a Christmassy theme. I did a Christmas cookie theme because my mom and I love to bake lots and lots of different Christmas cookies during the season, and I created this really nice baking spread, and I'm very, very happy with it, so I am putting it into happy with it. And now for my most recent journal. This is from Archer&Olive, and I actually managed to match it to my second journal of the year as well, which is a first for me, as you can see. And this was my theme for January. It was this really cozy reading theme, and this was actually the first theme that I filmed for this channel. You can check that out if you want. And that alone, I think, warrants it to be in the happy with it category, but I'm also actually very happy with it. For February 2021, I did my second Harry Potter theme, one that I was really looking forward to, which is Honeydukes. And while I love this theme and I still like it how I planned it out in my head, I feel like I did a little too much on the page itself, so I'm not super happy with it, and I'm putting it into the good theme, bad execution category, which is sad because I was really looking forward to it, but in the end I'm not happy with how it looks. I am a little bit more happy with how this theme came out, which was for March, this Monstera leaf theme, and actually I was moving to another flat again during that month, so I didn't have a lot of time and only did very few spreads and just this really simple theme. So it's nice, but it's not super memorable, so it's going in the forgot about it category. In April, I was still moving, so this theme was the easiest theme I've ever done, and accordingly, I am very unhappy with it. It's just not my vibe at all, and I just have to put it in just no. For May, I did my very first Lord of the Rings theme, which is my favorite movie series, if you didn't know. And I am quite content with how this theme turned out. It's kind of like a Hobbit theme, and I drew lots of these Hobbit hole doors. And also this is the first time that I experimented with colored pencils instead of markers. So it was quite an experiment and something new for me, but in the end I like how it turned out, so it's going in the happy with it category. For June, I did this cooking or kitchen theme, and I experimented with this chalkboard paper look, which I really like about this theme, but the rest of it is just not my favorite for some reason, so I'm putting this into the forgot about it category, even though I really liked it at first, but looking back, not so much. We are nearing the end of this video. This was my July 2021 theme, for which I sadly lost the footage of my plan with me, but it was this pool theme for which I tried this water effect that I've never done before. And I am very happy with how this turned out, but it's just not quite enough to go in the greatest of all time category, so it's going in happy with it. And my current theme, Pirates, is going in the greatest of all time category because I love it, and I took this footage from my Plan With Me video because I filmed the other parts before this one. And that was it for this video. All of my 32 themes shown and ranked. Here is the full tier list and ranking again for the last time. If you stayed until the end of this video, you're a real one, and put a heart in the comments so I'll know. And thank you so much for being here and for watching. If you enjoyed this video and seeing all the themes, then be sure to leave a thumbs up on this video and maybe hit that subscribe button on my channel if you haven't yet. And of course, comment down below which was your favorite theme out of all my 6 BuJos since 2019. And I hope to see you in my next video back on the channel. Bye!